I'm considering the circumstances. I think I did a hell of a job. I had a lot on my mind coming into the fight. I had to, try to balance that. And I definitely felt from the first fight that I was a better fighter. But I just had to carry over in this fight and show what I've learned. And I believe I showed that I'm not only a puncher and a brawler, that I can, if I need to box and win a fight, I can do that. So I felt that I did a good job tonight.
Seth, what did you see in this fight that was different from the first fight?
It was just a learning experience. I didn't go into the first fight underestimate Jonathan Banks, but I'm naturally a very aggressive individual, and after watching the first fight, I was the bull the whole time, and he's a counterpuncher. And I knew that going into the fight, but I just got overzealous after I won the first round, hands down, and he caught me with some counter shots, and we went back to the drawing board, and I was bending a little bit too far at the knee, bending over, not at my knees, and that's just something that I worked on, staying with my jab, balance. The acronym that I came up with this fight was PBAT, patience, balance, and distance, and I figured if I stayed with that I could definitely get the win.
He was able to hurt you again. How do you get through that? How do you get through that round?
Again, it was a learning experience. Watching the first fight when I got dazed, I tried to grab him by the waist, and he was able to step back and did what he was supposed to do, keep punching. This time, I tied him up, and then when the ref broke us, I stayed tight. My defense was tight, and I didn't try to brawl with him. And that's something that we worked on over and over again in the gym. Kudos to my trainer, Andre Hunter. Had a great training camp.
Would you say your jab was a difference in this fight?
I definitely would say that my jab was a big key to this fight, but just being patient, and even when I was catching them, not getting reckless and not lunging and reaching. And if I had came out and lunged and reached, the same thing could have possibly happened in this fight. And that was just my main focus, was to stay patient. I know I can, go 12 rounds. I know that was a question to a lot of people because I've been knocking everybody out, but I trained extremely hard, and so the distance, wasn't in my mind at all.
So talk about the knockdown in the first round.
I hit him with a jab, and then I stepped back, and he tried to grab me, and I stepped to the side and hit him with a chopping right hand. I was kind of like on the side. It was an equilibrium shot. I don't think he was, really hurt. But watching the fight, watching Jonathan he makes a lot of mistakes as well, like lunging and reaching, and that's what he did. So I don't think it was an extremely hard shot, but he was off balance, got caught and went down in a 2-point round.
Looks like you were getting knowledge after round after round. It looks like your confidence, your jab, things were coming together, it seems, after you had the rocky start.
Absolutely. I wouldn't necessarily say that I had a rocky start. I had a rocky round, the round that I got, hurt in. But I think I dictated the first two rounds with my jab. I feinted him. I was really excited about this fight because I truly believe from the last fight I was a better fighter, and I was, a little not anxious, but I couldn't wait to get in the ring because I wanted to see in sparring and in the training camp I was doing things that I hadn't been doing before, but it means nothing if you don't carry over into the fight, and that's why I was anxious about the fight, and I think I carried over a lot. I know a lot of people didn't want me to take the rematch, they thought it was like too soon, but I truly felt that I was a better fighter than Jonathan Banks, and I proved it.
Seth, do you think that Jonathan Banks was 100%? Because it seems like after the third round when he hurt you, he just died out, and the rest of the fight was lackadaisical.
Not my problem. I don't care if he was 100%. We had a fight, it is what it is. If he wasn't 100%, he wasn't 100%. Am I supposed to take it easy on him?
No, I'm not asking that, but I mean, you being in the ring with him twice now, did he look the same? Did he look less than 100%?
No, I think that he didn't expect me to box and move and use my jab the way I did. I thought he thought that I would retreat back to old form, being aggressive, brawling, coming forward. So I think that, threw him for a shot. I have a beautiful jab. Sometimes I leave it at home, but that was one of my main focuses, is just to do what I've been doing in sparring and training. And I know sparring isn't fighting, but just have courage. I was very confident about this fight.
Where do you go from here?
I'm going to sit back with my team. I think this fight right here shows the type of man that I am, the character that I had to not only take a rematch after, getting stopped in the first round. They showed that I can box. I'm just getting better. I'm still learning. At the same time, I realize I have to win and learn on this level, and this is the level that I want to be on. I sit back with my team, clear my mind for boxing for about 2 weeks. I'm not thinking about boxing. go home and enjoy my family.
Is it discouraging at all that this is your third fight in a row where you've suffered some sort of, been shaken up in the ring?
It's boxing. You know, fight through adversity. That's what life is about. You know what I mean? Quality upon a lot of people talk about, I haven't been coddled or babied at all. I fought at 9-0. I fought the Zach Pages. I fought the Jamil Barnes. I fought names like that, the Timur Bragmore. It's boxing. I'm six and a half years I've been boxing. I'm still learning, but I'm getting better, so it doesn't bother me at all. I just got to continue to stay humble, stay focused, and go to the top.
Looks like your counter was caught him by surprise a little bit. You countered him.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know that I can, box. I've been blessed. God has blessed me with the athletic. I got nice size, nice weight, and I got one punch power in both hands and a beautiful jab. And sometimes, I don't know why, I just don't use all of my tools. And after this was a wake-up call. At this level, you're going to have to, you can't run through everybody. You're going to have to, sometimes sit back, box, the crowd may boo, but, hell, if I went out there and started lunging and reaching and brawling and got stopped, then they'd be laughing. So I blocked the crowd out and I just won. It was a one-round fight for me, win each round.
Did you feel you hurt him along the way?
I wouldn't say I hurt him, but he felt my presence in there. He felt my presence with some body shots. With a couple of jabs, we call them, shotgun jabs. I hit him with a couple of shotgun jabs, and I think he felt, I wouldn't say I hurt him, but he was definitely, dazed a little.
Did he hurt you?
You saw the fight. I mean, I was dazed. I had to, recover. I had some cobwebs. I was buzzed a little bit, but it's a part of the territory, and it was just a learning experience. That happened to me in my last fight. I wasn't able to, get out, but I tied him up and I stayed tight with my defense.
Seth, do you see a need for a third fight?
I talk to my promoters and see what's. I don't believe we have a rematch clause in our contract, and I can honestly say if I didn't have a rematch clause in my first contract, he wouldn't have fought me again. So we'll see what happens. I believe I have the tools and the potential to become the next American heavyweight. I'll let you all say that. I just continue to work hard. I believe in myself. I believe that I can be, the heavyweight champion of the world. But I got to continue to work hard, and I think I got a good chance. I got a good team around me, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, my trainer right here, Andre Hunter, because everybody, once you lose a fight, you need a new trainer. You need this and you need that. Everybody starts somewhere. And we're gonna go to the top together. This is a man that he doesn't care about Seth Mitchell the boxer. He cares about Seth Mitchell, and that's something that I love and I cherish about him. And he's a hell of a trainer. And we're gonna just continue to work hard. My team, Al Heyman, my manager, Sharice Salim, Lawrence Shabak, and Chris Ray, my cut man, Golden Boy. I got a great team, and I put myself in a position where all I have to do is win, and the future can be very bright for me.
That's it. Anybody else? Okay, Seth.
Thank you.
Very nice. The guys in here, be a little patient, but one of them should be on his way. Campaigning hard at this late hour. What? No, I need to.
This is.
Well, I want to add, while we wait for Adrian Broner and for Broner-Malignaggi to come, I'd like to make an announcement on behalf of Golden Boy. We are very happy to announce that one of the most exciting guys in the welterweight division, who has done a tremendous job to get where he is going to be joining the Golden Boy stable. We already have at 140, 47, 54, most of the guys who really matter are fighting with Golden Boy and the Golden Boy stable. And this young man is certainly a great addition to the Golden Boy family. I'm very proud and very happy that he has decided to join Golden Boy, and that is Saddam World Kid Ali from Brooklyn, New York. I'd like to acknowledge the team members, Andre Rosier, Ali's trainer, Mahmoud Ali, Ali's father and advisor, Anthony Gantanzaro and Walter Kane, Ali's attorney. He is a tremendous fighter with a record of 16-0 with 10 KOs, and given what we've been doing here in Brooklyn, New York, really building Brooklyn boxing back up together with the Barclays Center, I think this is the perfect spot, and we are very proud to have Saddam join Golden Boy. Now I'd like to hand it over to Saddam to say a few comments.
Well, thank you for the open arms. Welcome. Well, I've done it on my own for a while. It was hard, definitely. And I started my own promotions, and just because I wasn't ready to sign yet, but at the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to work with one of the top promoters. And as you can see, Golden Boy has been moving people the right way, and I wanted to wait till I was physically and mentally ready to step up and really show who I really am. And I'm just excited to really be on this team and show what I have to do.
It's been a long time coming now for you. We've talked a lot about you signing to a promoter, and you were doing your own thing in the Aviator. Was it that you felt you were being frozen out from the top names that made you sign to a big promoter?
No, that wasn't it. I was just getting the experience, trying to get more fights here and there, and just waiting for the right time, basically.
Does World Kid Promotion still exist?
Well, yeah, it still exists right now. Well, that's frozen for now, I guess. It's on hold.
How's the gym?
The gym is good. A lot of kids come in. I started boxing when I was 8 years old, so it's a beautiful view to see that, the little kids that come in. So the gym's going well.
Are you still in the developmental stage? Are you going to get developmental fights, or are we going to see this name 147 pounds?
Well, we'll see. I signed the Golden Boy with the mind state that I'm ready to step up, and I'm ready for anything. They're going to pick my opponent, and I'm ready to fight. This is what I do. And so it all depends on what they want to do.
Is it a fight by fight, or a certain amount of fight contract, or is it years? How's the contract?
It's a long-term deal.
Yeah.
So we going to start this year?
Oh, absolutely. We want to keep Saddam very busy. Our two matchmakers, Eric Gomez and Robert Diaz, working with Mahmoud Ali and with Andre Rossi and his team to find the right matches and sort of see how we go. But the sky's the limit. We are very hopeful that Brooklyn, not only will Brooklyn have a new world champion, sometime soon, but that the sky's the limit for Saddam.
So should we expect in October here in the Barclays?
That's the plan.
And I'm excited about fighting at the Barclays. You know, this is my home. And just to be so close, everybody can come out, all my fans, my friends, my family, my supporters. And I'm excited. I'm boosted right now, and I'm ready to go out there and show what I can do.
As you all know, Saddam has a tremendous amateur background as well, so he is clearly ready to take the next step. We'll see when and who he's going to fight, but I am convinced that we signed here one of the best young fighters in the world.
Thank you. Well, so I know Golden Boy is going to do their job. It all comes down to me. That's who boxing is. It all comes down to the fighter. I got to train hard. I got to be ready. And if I do what I have to do, I will be where I want to be. And I'll be a world champion, and I'll stay on top. So I'm just ready for that.
But you're going to train in New York?
I'm not 100% yet, but that's the plan for now, yes.
Great, thank you very much. Which way? Where are you? Oh, there, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys.
Saddam is a bad boy.
He sure is.
We are.
attendance numbers tonight.
It was 11,461. It's a new record for boxing here at the Barclays Center.
Don't molest me.
Do we know where Adrian and Paulie is? Preferably not having them here at the same time. Come on. I know that's what you guys are waiting for.
Let's get Bernard in the meantime.
Yeah, let's get Bernard.
You're looking sharp as always.
How did y'all enjoy the fight? It was a good one, right? The whole card. Come on now, was the fight good?
What are your thoughts on the fight?
Bernard,
Well, first,
we see you posing at the weigh-in with Adonis Stevenson, so, was that more than just a friendly picture?
did you just see the fights tonight, man?
We asked for Bernard to talk to.
But it ain't my time and place now to talk about me. No, because I'm
The fighters are busy.
not thirsty to have a conversation with the media on somebody else's success tonight. And I look at Broner and I look at Mitchell. I look at the guys that fought today, some that made a comeback because of their last fight, which is Mitchell, along with his personal problems that he had to endure. I think that it's appropriate that you give tonight's winners, and even the guys that didn't win, that put the sincere effort to try to win, the respect, and that's how I feel today. Because me, it ain't about me right now, and it's about what you've seen tonight. It's about what the fans got in Brooklyn, and that's more important than what Bernard Hopkins will say about myself today. There will be a time, trust me, when I'll be able to give you all you want.
But you want us to ask you questions on the fighters tonight?
I would, no, I don't know what kind of questions you want me to ask you, then I'll be corrupt in your mind and ask questions.
That's what I'm saying. If the fighters are not here, that's why we ask you. But I
Well,
get
you
what
watched
you're
the
saying.
fight. No, it's cool. You watched the fight like I watched the fight. Just name a name, and I'll give you my opinion about that fight tonight.
What did you think of Broner's performance?
Broner, what about Broner?
What about his performance?
The fact that this was.
I think first of all, I think he should stay. My personal opinion, he can stay at that weight, and he has the luxury to go down to the next weight. Whatever weight he fights, there's no question that weight division is deep with fighters just happening to be with us. And that makes good fights and potential great fights with certain matchups. So he has the best, as far as I'm concerned, the best of both worlds. He jumped 2 weight classes to get where he at, so he can go back down, fight there, or he can stay at the weight that he is now. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the best of both worlds.
What did you think of Broner's in-the-ring antics? It seems like he kicked Malignaggi on one occasion, and there was some skills that he hasn't quite developed. Do you feel that's going to affect him in the long run?
I think it will affect him if he continue to not adjust and also learn certain other things, because you can't stay the same in this business because you become a target. Floyd Mayweather has been a target since he's been undefeated, and he's still undefeated. So you do have to adjust, not necessarily take away or stop doing what you've been successful with, but you have to add on and change certain styles and add on to your style because you want to stay unbeatable. You want to stay undefeated. And so I think it's a plus for him because he's young enough, 23 years old, to add on to what he already knows now. And he's going to get better. He's going to get better. I mean, one thing, love him and hate him, you cannot say that he's not going to get better at 23 years old. They all get better. They all get better. And that's where the time is on his side to get better.
Bernard, do you think he has a problem with bigger punches?
No, I haven't witnessed that. I haven't witnessed that. I think he take punches on his arms, his shoulders, and not in his head. He has a defense that some would say looks like Mayweather. I think he has a defense the opposite. I think he might do certain things subtly that Mayweather does, but Broner stays in the pocket more, and he risks himself a little bit more to be able to trade with the other guy. We've seen it tonight with Paulie, but Paulie never been, and he will admit to that when he gets here. If you ask him about Do we think he's a big puncher? We all know he's not a big puncher. But he can throw punches in volumes and punches where he can win rounds where they are close and some are even. But that's what kept him in the game tonight. What kept, I think, in the game tonight is the way he threw punches and the volume, the way he threw punches and bunches, the way he did.
Did you agree with the score?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Broner won. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was I wouldn't have been surprised if it was even a unanimous decision. But I'm not saying that a split decision was the wrong score because it was some close rounds. You watched that fight from 1 to 12. I was ringside, had the opportunity and the blessing to commentate the fight along with Al Bernstein and a couple of guys. And I'm up on it and I'm seeing, and I know what I'm looking for, and I seen volume punches coming from Paulie, and I seen accurate, effective punches, right, coming from Broner. And I seen 1 or 2 times in that fight, I seen Broner hurt Paulie a couple of times. Not to the point where it was close to any knockdown, but his body language showed that he was affected by it. And Paulie got really stung by a couple of shots and got, on his bike and retreat a little bit, which was smart. Because, you hurt and you try to fight, you're going to get either knocked out, you're going to get, even hurt. All right.
Bernard, question on Malignaggi. Did he do better than you expected? To me, he really had like a moral victory.
He's in Brooklyn. He was born not too far from this stadium. He has that Italian heart of big as New York, where he's home. I don't know about you, but ain't too many people gonna go in your house and beat you up in your house. So he gave that spirit, and also his talent and his experience of having multiple championship opportunities and 2 or 3 divisions. So I wasn't surprised that Paulie put up the fight that he put up, because he always showed heart. I mean, that's one thing that you can't say about Paulie, is that he won't go down swinging. And tonight you've seen him being really outpowered by really a bigger guy and a more faster and accurate guy, and got hit with some right hands from the 3rd round to the 12th. He was getting nailed with right hand counter shots that he didn't back down from. And that's where it's at. That's where it's at. But Broner did what he had to do, and he pulled it out, and he showed maturity in this fight, as far as I'm concerned.
A question for Richard real quick. Obviously, you're always thinking a step or 2 ahead. What would you like to see next with Broner?
Well, we have to first see if he wants to stay at
147 or not, but I just want to quickly add about Paulie's performance. I think tonight was Brooklyn pride. Brooklyn pride and Brooklyn heart, and what Paulie showed tonight is certainly nothing, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. And I think for Adrian the question is going to be, does he want to stay at 47 and defend his title? Does he want to move to 140? He still is the lightweight champion as well. He didn't give up that belt yet. I don't see him going back down to lightweight, so we have to see what he wants to do. But like for example, a fight between Adrian and a Marcus Maidana, I would love to see that as a fan. So there are many good names there. I mean, the division is so deep. There's Amir Khan, there's Devin Alexander, there's Victor Ortiz, there's Roberto Goes Guerrero. I mean, the names, they go on and on. So there are going to be some big fights for Adrian. And I think, I'm not a boxing expert, obviously. Bernard knows the sport a million times better than I do. But I think the way maybe Adrian got hit tonight and so on is as well because he knew that Paulie couldn't hurt him. And I think you fight a different fight than if you would go and fight a Marcus Maidana, where it's a big puncher. So I think we probably have to take that into consideration as well.
Richard, Broner said during the week, and repeated, I believe, in the ring again tonight, that he intends to allow the fans to pick his next opponent. Would you support his effort to do that?
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, what if the fans think Floyd Mayweather?
I have no problem with that.
Marcos Maidana is the mandatory per the WBA. Are you going to push that fight?
I'm not going to push fights. I like to make the best fights, and I think that that, in my opinion, is at 147 one of the best fights you can make. That's just my opinion as a fan. I'd like to see it. Because Adrian Broner will never be in a boring fight, and we all know that Marcos Maidana will never be in a boring fight. Now you put those two guys together, I can even do the matchmaking. Right, Bernard?
That's self.
Exactly. So where do we stand with dealing with issues? Oh, okay.
Schaefer, you might as well take this time to talk about Garcia Ortiz.
Oh, that's a good question. What do you want to know?
The rumor is it's not done because Danny Garcia wants $5 million. Is there any truth to that?
I haven't heard those rumors. No. Well, you know, Danny Garcia is the kind of fighter who never backs down of fighting anybody, and a lot of people gave him virtually no chance when he went in and fought Amir Khan, and you see what happened. And these kind of tough fights, they motivate a fighter like Danny Garcia, and I think all of you should have learned by now that one thing you cannot do is count Danny Garcia out. So there is no issue. You know, just have to find the right spot, the right date, but both fighters want to fight, and you know, usually we get those big fights done, and I know that that's one of those fight fans want to see. I think, you know, everybody asks me about Mayweather and Canelo, can you get it done, can you get it done, and then one day, one evening, the announcement came out, we got it done, and I think it took everybody a bit by surprise, because nobody expected it. Everybody doubted that Floyd would commit to fight back-to-back in such a short period of time, and that he would actually go and fight somebody like Canelo, but Floyd Mayweather did, and so did Canelo, and I think I'm going to do the same here. Monday, in the next couple of weeks or so, I'm going to announce that that fight is done. And I'm going to let you guys know when and where, and hopefully all show up.
You say that September 7th date, is that still a working date?
No, we have a lot of dates. So, I mean, we have so many dates. So that's exactly what I want to do is we're going to start on Monday. Make sure you guys are all going to be there at the press conference for Mayweather and Canelo from Times Square. So I'm going to be spending 10 days on the road. I'm going to have some time to talk with the president of sports for Showtime, Steven Espinoza, and see where we can slot in those different fights. But there is a lot of good fights. One card which I mentioned already, some of you might have heard about it, is August the 24th. August the 24th is going to be a doubleheader from Carson with Abner Mares, looks like against Johnny Gonzalez. Both fighters have verbally agreed to the fight. And then the purse bid which we want, Leo Santa Cruz moving up in weight, fighting Victor Terrazas. A great doubleheader, and we will have another sellout in Carson at the facility there. And then we have potentially something on August the 31st. We have September 7th. I'm going to be talking to Steven as well about Bernard's next fight. We all know that the IBF had ruled late yesterday that Murat is installed as the mandatory again. So, Bernard told me a long time ago he doesn't care who he fights, he just wants to make sure of the mandatory. And so, I'm going to be working on that as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's a matter of finding the right sites, the right venues to obviously put these fights all together.
Richard.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Francisco.
So just to piggyback off of what Ness was saying, September 7th, Dodger Stadium is off the table.
Well, I love to do a boxing event at the Dodger Stadium. The people from Dodger Stadium have reached out to us, and so that's still a plan. I don't know what date exactly, but we're definitely going to do something September the 7th as well. Okay, so I hear...
One last one, Richard. One last one. The other hiccup supposedly Garcia Matisse is the fact that Team Garcia wants anti-doping and Lucas Matisse lives in Argentina.
I think you have your own sources, I don't know where you come up with all that shit. Okay, anyway. All right. I think you're the one who creates those rumors. Rumors going around. Rumors you create. Anyway, so Paulie coming. You want to come through? Let Steve through. You okay there? You okay? Okay, so the next, so the press conference on Monday is going to be at 1:30 p.m. media check-in at the W Hotel in Times Square. At 2 p.m. the media will have one-on-ones, and at 3 p.m. is going to be the press. Okay, so there he is. Brooklyn Pride, that's what we saw today. Broner-Malignaggi, an amazing display of skills, courage, heart, what Brooklyn boxing is all about. Congratulations for a great fight, Paulie.
What's up, guys? I just want to say some stuff about what I was saying in the post-fight post-fight interview. I was a bit emotional in the moment.
Hey, quiet back there.
I'm not trying to say Tom Schreck is really in Al Heyman's pocket, but I do think he's a bit incompetent in what he was watching, you know? I don't know if he went into the fight with a predisposed mentality that, hey, AB was going to win and that was it, and he wasn't going to score the fight any other way. I mean, I think the fight was close, I think it was competitive. What's going on back there? Yo, is my people in here?
Richard.
Make sure my people's in here, man. I want my people in the room.
Let them, well, I think there's so many here. But let Paulie's people in. Just make
Let my people in the room. Where's my family?
Paulie's family in.
Thanks, Dave.
I didn't know that. Can you make me go and see his family?
Pete, you know who belongs in here, who doesn't? Make sure. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I think the fight was competitive. Here's the thing. In boxing, there's always these stereotypes about you got to take the belt from the champion. If you're in somebody's hometown, you got to win by a little more. If this fight was in Cincinnati and I was the challenger, I would say, hey man, it happens. You know, you got to win by a little bit more than just the norm. You know, but I came into this fight as the champion. I came into this fight as a hometown fighter. I could have at least got a draw. It would have been nice, keep my title. I don't think he did enough to win the title. He's a good little talented fighter. He doesn't hit hard at all. I mean, probably I've been hit by girls who work harder than him, but he is sharp. He's a sharp little fighter. You know, it didn't go my way. You know, I don't know what else, what more to comment on it. You know, but. You know, it's a bit disappointing. You know, I thought I did outwork him. He's tough to hit clean, but he stands in front of you a lot. So you know, it was easy to find him to the body a lot. I felt like the body shots really slowed him down, and I was able to outthrow him a lot because of him slowing down with the body shots. And again, I mean, I was able to stand in front of him a lot more because he didn't hit hard. I mean, if the kid hit hard, I really might have been in trouble. You know. But between him not throwing a lot of punches and him not being a big puncher, I was able to stay in front of him a bit more than even I anticipated, you know? I don't know. I'm 32 years old, man. I think if I had the legs when I was 25, I know everybody talks about how good Adrian Broner is, but I don't think he would have beat a 25-year-old Broner-Malignaggi. You know, not with the legs, not with the legs. Not with the legs I had back then. You know, I mean, I got 32-year-old legs, and he's got 23-year-old legs, and he won a split this. He won a split decision that, you know. Oh, whatever it is, you know, I didn't get the decision, but I'm putting it into perspective here for everybody. This guy's getting covers on Ring Magazine, and this guy's getting promoted as the next thing for boxing. Did boxing really win tonight? I mean, the kid is not an example for anybody to look up to. The kid has no manners. Even after the fight, he had no manners. He's not a good person. He's an average. I'm not gonna say he's an average fighter. He's got some talent, but he's not a guy with the talent that can carry the sport anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's a good little fighter, but there's a lot of good fighters in other weight classes, or even in our weight class, that have more star power than Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is a wannabe rapper that can box a little bit. That they gave a welterweight title to tonight, so on paper he's a 3-time world champion. You know, and he's got Al Haymon backing him. So
Was he less than you expected?
a lot less than I expected. Yeah, I mean, first off, the punch and power. The most he hurt me, the most I felt was when he hit me on the break with that left hook. I think it was around 1 or 2. I felt that a little bit because it just kind of caught me off guard, but I recovered pretty quick. But that was literally a shot at, I mean, he hit me with something I didn't see totally. Like, if you can punch and you hit me with a shot like that, like, you're supposed to knock me out cold. You know what I mean? Like, that shot hit me cold. I wasn't paying attention. I was breaking, like, totally innocently, and he hit me with a clean left hook. You know, so I felt that one a little bit. But then again, if any grown man hits you with a shot you don't see at all, you know, you're gonna feel it a little bit. But that was it. I mean, he doesn't hit hard. He's probably better off going back down to 40 or 35. I don't even think 40 is good for him because, you know, there's some pretty strong guys at 40. He's probably better off going back down to 135 and chilling out there for a little bit because there's some strong welterweights. I don't know about him dealing with them.
Paulie, during the fight, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Broner done various tactics throughout the fight. He was constantly talking to you. He didn't need you. He was using a few underhand tactics.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? How did that change?
Well, I anticipated that already. He was just saying you can't hit me. So I was just basically saying, no, I'm touching you. I was like, no, I said, don't be so sure about that. I'm touching you. You know, the game plan was to, you know, touch him up to the body because we saw in the Ponte de Leon fight, he doesn't get off a lot of punches, so we wanted to give him even more reason to not throw a lot of punches. You know, we wanted to give him more reason to think about the distance. You know, I never felt I was going to be at risk to be stopped at all in the night. You know, and so. There were spots where he would come with a bit of a flurry. You know, he would land some clean shots and some not clean shots, but whatever landed wasn't strong enough to slow me down, and a lot of it missed, so that I was able to jump right back on top of him and take back the momentum, you know, because he's not a stick and move fighter. A good fighter will land that kind of flurry and step around you or leave you there or follow up with another flurry. You know, a lot of times he would throw that little flurry and then he would stand there and just talk. But he was gassed out from throwing that flurry, and I would know it a lot of times. So he would throw his flurry. I would make sure some of it landed and some of it didn't. I couldn't make him miss every shot, but as long as I knew I was making him miss enough, and then what landed wasn't hitting me hard enough to slow me down, and then I would just jump right back on him. It was exciting for the crowd, but it also played on his mind, like, man, I'm not going to stop this guy. I'm not going to slow this guy down. So I wanted him to mentally know that, yo, man, you're gonna be here a while, so you better chill with you better budget your punching because you don't want to get tired late. You know, I know it was on his mind, you know, and I felt like it would be on his mind based on how he fought the De Leon fight because you can change your talent. I mean, you can learn about boxing. You can become a better fighter in the gym and work hard, but you can't change character. He's got no character, and he still has no character, you know. And I think I knew that going in, and you know. Those were spots that I felt like I could take advantage of, and those were spots that I felt like, you know, a lot of times I took back rounds because of it.
Paulie, can you compare and contrast him to some of the best guys you fought? Cotto, Hatton, and Khan. Where does he rate with them?
Hatton is hard to compare to anyone because Hatton, there was just so many things wrong about that fight. You know, I don't know how good. I can't even come out of that fight saying how good Ricky was. Ricky's an awesome guy. He's a strong guy, but I can't rate Ricky because I felt like everything was wrong even before that fight. But as far as Miguel and Amir, compared to AB, I mean, come on, you guys saw the difference. I mean, you know, AB fought a 32-year-old Broner-Malignaggi, and Miguel fought a 25-year-old Broner-Malignaggi, and Amir fought a 29-year-old Broner-Malignaggi. I mean, you can see the difference, you know, in the performances, you know. I think AB's pretty ordinary. I think he's pretty ordinary, and again, it's because he stands right there. He's there for the return. He's not easy to hit clean in the head. You can bash him up to the body, man. You know what I mean? He's there to hit to the body. He'll talk. He'll tell you you're not hitting him clean, but his work ethic proves otherwise. You know, if you're not hitting him that clean, why is he not punching back then? You know, so you know, at the end of the day, Miguel had just hit so hard, and he was technically very sound. And Amir's speed was just on another level at that time. I mean, I feel like Amir slowed down a little bit for other reasons. Maybe he's been in tough fights, but Amir, when I fought him, was just so fast. I mean, so fast. It was, you couldn't even compare the speed from Broner to Amir Khan's speed at that time.
Paulie, great fight.
Thanks.
I was one of the few riders who actually thought this was going to be a close fight, and you were going to go 12 rounds. I didn't predict a winner. But when you look back, is there maybe one thing that you could have done differently? I know your plan was to go to the body, and I thought he was slowing down by the 10th round. Is there one thing that you could have done differently in this fight?
I would have liked to use my legs a little bit more. But again, I don't know if it's, you know, we use our legs pretty good in camp. I don't know if it's my age. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I mean, AB brought it every round, but I've been pressured every round by other fighters too and used my legs better, you know? Again, I don't know. Broner fought a 32-year-old Broner-Malignaggi. I mean, I'm still talented at a high level, but, you know, it's possible my legs may not be the same as they were when I was 25, 26 either. But you know, I'm not going to say did this and that, because then it would be discrediting the good things that he did, because there were some good things he was doing as well.
Would you like a rematch?
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to get a rematch. It'd be cool. You know, I felt very disrespected going into the fight. You know, I was a champion. I'm the hometown fighter. I got paid less. I mean, I'm not that I should complain for about a 7-figure payday, but come on, man. You know, I got paid less. A lot of my people couldn't get their tickets. Because I don't know who got the floor seats. I know nobody on the undercard sold tickets. I mean, I'm going to show you that, because what ticket sellers were on the undercard? Nobody came for Sakio Bika tonight. Nobody came for Seth Mitchell and Jonathan Banks tonight. They're not local, you know. Not that their fights weren't entertaining, but you know, I saw them in the locker room. They were entertaining, but you know, it just wasn't that kind of party, you know. So I don't know who got those floor seats that my people couldn't get their hands on, even to buy. Even some of my own people, I wanted to buy them from some of my trainers and stuff for their families. I couldn't get my hands on them, you know. So I felt like, you know, how are you limiting my star power by limiting what I'm selling? You know, I'm the hometown guy. I'm the defending champion. But on top of which, I got paid less. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I want to go back and I'll see if I feel like training this way again for another training camp. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm to say I'm insulted. I'm very calm right now, but to say I'm insulted is an understatement. You know. And to top it off, then this decision came as well. So, you know, I'll see. You know, it'd be cool to get a rematch. It would, but I mean, I don't know that I want to live through another training camp either. So I don't know. I'll go back and think about it. You know, right now we just fought, and I know so many things are going through my mind, but we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Hey, Paulie, good fight tonight.
Thanks.
I heard your comments in the ring to Jim Gray after the fight, saying that the 117-111 scorecard from Tom Schreck, you felt like that, you know, to use your words, that judge was in Al Heyman's pocket, and I'm wondering if you regret that, because there were many of us at ringside that had that exact same score in favor of Broner.
Yeah. Well. No. I mean, I made some comments to start the press conference. Yeah, I was a bit emotional in the moment. I wouldn't say Shrek was in Heyman's pocket, but it's just funny how in boxing, the more politically connected guy always gets the close decisions, you know? It never goes the other way, you know what I mean? Like, when do you see the politically not connected guy get the close decision? So it starts to feel like it's a little bit more than coincidence, you know what I'm saying? Because you never see the other guy who's not connected at all get the close decision. So, you know, it just starts to feel like a bit more than coincidence. But to say he's in Heyman's pocket is, yeah, it's probably a reach, you know? But, Shrek and everybody else at ringside who might have had a 117, 111. I mean, there's probably a lens crafters or a Pearl Vision Center not too far from me. That's a pretty good place to start.
One other question, Paul. You said that you weren't sure about having a rematch. You weren't sure about that, but you also said maybe you wouldn't fight again. Do you still want to fight again?
I don't know. I mean, I'm in the moment. I just fought. So I mean, I don't know. Is it annoying going through a training camp? Yeah. I mean, I used to look forward to fighting. I used to look forward to training for a big fight, man. But now I do feel like every time a training camp is coming, I'm like, oh man, I got the next 2 or 3 months are really gonna suck, you know. So you know, I don't know. But then again, a rematch would appeal to me, you know. I would love to get back in the ring and do this again. And you know, if Broner wants to, you know, I wouldn't say right the wrong because he got the win, but you know, make it more of a statement and try to win more clearly and prove that he's a competitor. You know, I would definitely be up for thinking about it at least. But we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello. Sorry, the last question. Malignaggi, I think you did it a good fight. First, you remind me Macho Camacho.
Yeah.
You made the show.
Yeah.
It's no fight if you don't attack all the time.
Well,
and you did it.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, he threw 524 punches, and you throw 843. I think that is a show exactly what is this show that you made tonight.
Well,
my question is, how many people do you think they coming for you from Brooklyn of the 1,100 and 600?
Oh, 11,000. I don't know.
11,000.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, it would have been more if they could have got their hands on some seats, though. I don't know. But I heard the crowd. I felt like a good support system was there. As far as Camacho is concerned, I actually had Macho Time Forever written on the front of my trunks tonight. I haven't fought since he passed away, and he was one of the guys that that was really a big inspiration for my in-the-ring style, my boxing personality. He was a guy that really had a big influence on me as a fighter. So it was my little memory for him because I haven't fought since October and he passed away in November. So I wanted to put on those trunks, and they were actually a replica of the trunks he wore when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard in 1997. I don't know if anybody caught that, but yeah, Camacho was one of my guys. And on the back, Arturo Gatti, I had justice for Arturo Gatti because I heard they reopened the investigation into his murder-suicide because I don't think he committed suicide at all. So I just want justice for him as well.
Thank you, Paulie. Do you want to give a closing statement?
Nah. Well, yeah, why not? Let me put it like this. I don't think anybody gained anything tonight. Adrian, I don't know what making Adrian Broner into a star is going to do for boxing. He's a prick. He's a jerk off. He's got no manners. He didn't win the fight tonight.
Relax, guys, relax.
Come on,
I'm white.
get it out.
I'm white, so you can see my mouth on my face.
White, baby.
Yeah.
All right. All right, thank you all. Keep it white.
Stop. Let me go back. Again, the reason I say this is only because I've always been cool with opponents after the fight. I really am. You can talk trash all you want. Always keep it classy after the fight. This is competition. We really fight hard. We train hard and we really fight hard. Yo, stop staring at my family back there with the red tag, bro. Because I'll come over there and beat the shit out of you. All right? Relax. Okay? Let me get off the stage.
All right, thanks. This concludes the press conference for Paulie.
Where he was coming from, having been knocked out in the last fight. I admit I didn't understand, or Mitchell, where he was coming from in the last fight. Banks, I just didn't understand. What was your assessment on that? That was a rough fight to watch.
That was a rough one to watch. I agree with you. And unfortunately, often heavyweight fights are like that. And I think that's why we here in the United States, at least, we sort of like moved on from the heavyweights to the lower weights because they're just more exciting. But Banks didn't really seem to be throwing many punches. He was waiting for that one big punch and got Seth a couple of times into trouble. But I think Seth fought a very tactical fight. He knew what he had to do to win. And it's not always just about knocking one out. It's about being smart in the ring. And that's what I told him before he walked out of the locker room. I went back to the locker room. I told him don't just fight with your heart and your punches, but use your brains as well. Fight a smart fight, and that's exactly what he did.
Bernard, do you have any insight into maybe what was going through Banks? I don't know if anyone talked to him. I never got any quotes from him, but it was a strange performance from my perspective.
No.
No, you didn't have any insight?
No contact at all, but I did, like I said, I commentated, and I was very excited. I seen that he actually stopped after the fourth, fifth round where they was most good rounds. I mean, he had Mitchell hurt real bad. It just seemed to step on the gas. But I did hear his corner. We got the pieces. We listened to the corner in between the rest time. And Banks' corner was saying to him, tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong. Go out and do what you gotta do. Tell me what's going on.
Was he hurt? Was he injured?
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, come on.
All right, so we can. We're just waiting for Andrew. We're just waiting for Adrian to come out. Mike is here. Andrew is here, so we can get started. I think a terrific performance of Adrian tonight. He is in the process of conquering another weight class, and he certainly moved up and fighting for a championship right away against a very game Broner-Malignaggi, but he did what he had to do and he won. You know, he dominated the fight. I think they put in a terrific performance. But Mike and Andrew, if you guys want to make some comments about the fight, what you felt.
Sure. I felt like it was a great fight. I appreciate everybody coming out and for your support. I was definitely very disappointed with the decision. I really didn't understand that to come to a split decision. I felt like Adrian pretty much won every round. It looked like a unanimous decision to me, but that was in the judges' hands. At the end of the day, Adrian Broner is a 3-time champion. He's moved up 3 weight divisions, and I'm also kind of disappointed that Paulie didn't come up here and acknowledge how good a fighter he is. I think there was a lot of heat between the fighters, personal things that came into play that probably shouldn't, and I think, you know, maybe put a little cloud on this thing, but at the end of the day, Paulie as an announcer and as a fighter announcer, I think you got to tell the truth about how good this kid is. He's one of the most talented kids in the world, and you got to tell the truth.
I really think that you want to sell him for what he's not.
I'm sorry?
You want to sell him for what he is not.
What is he not?
He's not. He's not so great. And tonight he showed that he's not so great. I just see you're selling him.
Well, you don't have to sell something that's obvious, and what's obvious is he's a 3-time champion. And to accomplish that, and he's got there by knocking people out and beating people as bad as he beat them today. That the proof is in the pudding. That's not a show. You can't buy that. It can't be bought. This kid has done the work. He's put the work in the gym. He's got 3 titles, and you don't get titles by not fighting and not winning.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with, it has nothing to do with money. But Mike, do you want to make some comments about what you felt?
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, the media. You know, I know there's always going to be some, you know, bad bread, you know what I'm saying? Adrian did what he had to do to win. He's a hell of a boxer. And, you know, you guys got to realize he's 23 years old, fighting a 32-year-old experienced Broner-Malignaggi. And, you know, he just picked him apart. I mean, he did what he had to do, you know, under the situations. You know, the ring was badly dismantled. I don't know who put the ring together, but it was dismantled before the fight started. And, you know, other than that, though, Adrian really performed real good tonight. I mean, he just dismantled Paulie. You know, I know everybody was expecting for him to knock out, but if you know the guy's fighting a defensive fight, you know, you got to understand the other guy. You know, you know, he wasn't taking that pressure. He wasn't taking them punches. So, you know, yeah, he fought a defensive fight. You know, and he stayed away from Adrian Parr. You know, that's all it was. But Adrian, we adjusted, you know, and we did the thing to make us win. You know, it's all about win. Just, you know, it make a difference if you win by 1 point or a knockout. It's still the same thing. It's a win is a win. And you can't be mad at the situation. It ain't about money. You know, you got judges. You know, it's 3 different judges, you know, so you just can't say you got 2 against 1. You know, you can't say it's about money. And that's not fair. You know, because you got a job. People gonna say something about your money. You know, you just can't say it's about money. You know. All right.
Any other questions before Adrian comes? Mike or Andrew?
It's no matter. I mean, he'll make adjustment against anybody. And you got to start understanding these fighters. You know, it's about adjustments. It ain't about who's in front of you. It's about adjustments. You know, if you look at the playoff series just played, the coaches are making adjustments. It's about making adjustments.
Mike, I first would like to applaud Malignaggi. I don't want anyone to detract from what he did. He fought a hell of a fight against your kid.
Yeah.
One thing that did stand out for me, though, is those punch stat numbers. Paulie threw 800 some odd, Adrian only 500 some odd. Expectations with Adrian are so high, right? So people are going to find things to nitpick. That is one thing that did stand out for me. I'm wondering if for you, would you like him to be busier and throw closer to the 800 or the 700 rather than the 500?
I like for him to make the punches more, just like he did tonight, more impressive to the judges. Making Paulie, if you look at Paulie's face and everything, you know, that's what's happening. You know, his face was totally messed up. You know, totally messed up. You know, if you come and Adrian come here, you won't see a mark on it. You know, so I don't know what stat you was listening to.
Paulie's face was not very marked.
Yes, it was. Yeah, from the first round. From the first round. Yeah. For the first round.
Tonight,
you know, you wasn't taking the punches. You wasn't taking the punches. You just writing the story. This was serious. This was serious.
Let's not debate that, okay? So,
I mean, Adrian was throwing straighter shots, cleaner shots, harder shots, and everything.
Mike, Paulie was in here earlier and was a bit dismissive about Adrian's power coming up to 47. Would you feel confident with Adrian remaining at 47?
He was hurting Paulie tonight.
And getting in with some of the bigger punches?
Paulie tonight. He took a knee. Did you see him take a knee? Did you see him play football in there? That's all tactics. He was doing. Paulie is an experienced fighter, you know? So an experienced fighter is going to do that. He know how to do it. And it's just like if you get knocked out, and your guy get knocked out, you get hurt, and when he come back to the ring, you throw water everywhere to get the guy time. It's about tactics. You know, Paulie was a coach and a boxer in that ring tonight. I applaud him for that, but he wasn't no fighter.
You know, for Paulie went into this fight as an 11-1 underdog. And I think a lot of people maybe expected that fight to play out as an 11-1 underdog kind of fight. But the fact is, you know, as many of you have said, as we have said up here, Paulie came to fight. He came with a lot of heart. He has a lot of experience, and he did. You know, he wouldn't go. He wouldn't go, and he was a very courageous fighter tonight. And I think Adrian's punches. I think Bernard summed it up very well. They were just more effective punching, and through this more effective punching, he was able to control the fight and persuade the judges that it was going his way. And most experts ringside, and I don't count myself as one of them, had it scored exactly like at 117, 111 in favor of Adrian Broner. So I think we really shouldn't cry about that, you know, Paulie didn't get this or didn't get that, or there was injustice or things like that. I think Paulie can walk out of the Barclays Center tonight with his head high up, because he came to fight, and people in Brooklyn can be proud of Paulie Malignaggi, a terrific fighter with a tremendous heart. That's the story here. And Adrian came to fight. He moved up 2 weight classes, and he showed why he's Adrian Broner and why he's so good and why he is the best young fighter in the world. End of story.
Who else do we know at 23 years old that's willing to move up 2 weight divisions and fight a title holder? I mean, we're going up and fighting title holders. We're not going up and taking a tune-up fight. We went from 30 to 35 straight to the top guy in the division and knocked him out. We went to 47 and came into his hometown, and in my opinion, won a unanimous decision, but got a split decision. But that's okay, it's still a decision. It's not taking anything away from Paulie. He's a great fighter, he's got a great chin.
There he comes. The new WBA world champion, Adrian "The Problem" Broner.
And I was waiting on y'all. I apologize for being late. They wanted to see what I was pissing out and what was in my blood. Hell of a fight tonight. You know, Polly's a world-class fighter. He did what he was supposed to do. And has run from every opponent he's faced, and he ran from me. But we hawked him down. You know, we did what we had to do to get the victory. He was throwing a lot of shots, but it's not about how many shots you throw, it's about how many shots you land. And I was landing the more effective shots and the bigger shots the whole fight. So, you know, I came in his hometown, I came in his backyard. There was a lot of people against me, there was a lot of people with me, you know, and I still got the victory. And that's the main thing. So right now, you know, I want to give thanks to God, Al Heyman, on our promotion, Golden Boy Promotions, World Star, Aviani Jeweler, you know, keeping me icy, always. You know, I'm proud for this WBA to be in his family now. You know, I got the WBO before I got the WBC, you know, and now to have the WBA, you know, I'm proud. You know, now it's time to go get more belts in somebody else's weight class. I don't know if it's going to be a light welterweight, or I might go back down to lightweight or junior lightweight. It really don't matter. So we just having fun right now. Y'all can hit me up now. Just, you know, ask some questions.
Do you feel like you're 23 years old and you're doing all these big fights? Is there a burnout effect? I'm afraid of that a little bit.
You said what?
You know, the guy comes up 23 years old, he's already fought 3 championships. You know, he's under all this pressure. Do you feel like you're comfortable with all this?
As you can see today, you know, I'm never under pressure. I bring pressure.
I mean,
No pressure. If we talk about pressure, it comes from the hood, but that's something else. That's something else. You don't know nothing about.
Adrian, how comfortable were you fighting at 147 for the first time?
I mean, I felt good, man. I mean, I was definitely strong, as you can see. You know, tonight I was definitely a welterweight, and I felt good.
Adrian, over here. Congratulations.
That's my man, Dan.
Congratulations. My question for you is, you mentioned in your just remarks now that you might go down to 140 pounds, maybe back to 135, but did you feel like that you were as comfortable at this weight class as you had been in other weight classes? And if you did decide to go down, what would be the reason?
It's just whatever's the better fight for me. That's what I'm doing. I don't care what weight is at. If it's the best fight for me for my career, then that's where we'll be at. But I was definitely comfortable.
One other question for you. How surprised were you when the scorecards were read and you had been the loser on one of those scorecards? It seemed very surprising, frankly, to a lot of us at ringside.
I mean, it's all right, man. I came to a man's hometown. I mean, I kind of expected to go that way, but I knew I was going to get the victory.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was there anything that Paulie did that surprised you, maybe sort of go to the body more than you anticipated?
What are you talking about? He hit me?
Okay, next question. How about your punching power at 147? Did you feel as strong at 147 than you did at 135?
Of course, man. I'm still strong. Paulie, like I said, I tip my hat to him. He could take a shot. A lot of them.
Has your speed been affected, do you think, at the heavier weight?
You said what?
Has your speed been affected in any way, being a little heavier?
Negative. You know, I still had the speed. You know, the fight today, I didn't have to use my speed. It was more about timing.
Oh, yes. And what was you saying to him while you was hitting him in his face?
You can't hit me. I hit Jessica, and I'm hitting you. He asked the question, shit.
You got a great answer.
Anybody else? Questions? Over there.
Adrian, at the end of the fight, you said that the fans would pick your next opponent.
Yeah.
Richard said he supports that endeavor. Now the question is, what way?
You better not say it.
The question is, what weight is that going to be in?
It really don't matter. He can pick, like the fans can pick my opponent.
But out of a list of how many? And who's going to pick the opponent that's going to be?
What I'm saying is my fans can pick the opponent.
Is anyone excluded from that?
Of course it is. One. Y'all know y'all better not go there.
Anybody else?
No. Any other question? All right, thank you very much.
Thank y'all.